Hello, hello. Happy Thursday and welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, I forgot there's one more thing I wanted to show you tonight, so I need to set up one more thing while you're coming in. I forgot I needed two different places here. There we go. No, that's not what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Hey, hope you're all having a great day. I'm excited. I have a new Embelly for you tonight. Hi, Mary Lou. Hey, Susan. Okay, I think I'm ready. Almost. Yeah. Hello, hello. Okay, so this is tonight's Embelly. And this was inspired by the fact that I actually got to put my plants in the ground today. I got them last week, and I've been watching every day since I got them to not have a freeze warning. Now, we'll probably have one in 3 days, but we don't have one until at least next week. So I thought they could get a chance. So I got the plants in the garden and decided this was a good one to do for that. So how are you all doing? Are you loving these as much as me? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't been this happy about projects in a long time. So I'm excited. Alrighty, so let me show you what you need to do with this when you get it. There's also a coupon code for it. Oop, that's not the one you want to see. You want to see this one. There's a coupon code for 50% off. It is the code is Pansy, and if you go into the blog, you can read. The code is posted there, so you don't have to remember it. Okay, so let's go to here. When you get this was one that you need to do a little something to it before you start to work. So you upload. Remember, the trick is remembering where did you save it, and you're going to bring that one on in. And you're not going to touch it. You're not going to do anything to it. You're going to come over here and click on Cut. So the cut layers, there's 3 of them. I'm going to switch those to Draw. All right, so do all 3 first. It's really easy. I find it is way easier to do this kind of work on a computer screen, but that's just me. You can do it in Design Space too. But I usually do this kind of things on my computer, save it as a file, then open and cut on my iPad. But that's just my work process. Okay, so I changed those 3 to Draw, and you'd think that would be it, except that Cricut doesn't know where you want them to draw. So now I'm going to click on this. Notice I haven't moved anything. I'm going to say Ungroup. The reason I tell you not to move anything is so that it doesn't have to get realigned and make sure you're okay, so don't move it. Come over here and click on Draw, and then click on Shift and click on the Cut. So it's 3 steps. Hold down Shift, Draw, Cut, and Attach. And then again, Draw, Shift, Cut, Attach. And one more, Draw, Shift, Cut, Attach. Whoops, that's one I already did. It's this one, sorry. Draw, Shift, Cut, Attach. And notice you have now 1, 2, 3 attached. You can double check, make sure you're okay by saying make it. It'll send it over. And I use any material because I'm going to pick just my plain matte. I am cutting with my Joy. But let me make this really clear. You can cut these on any Cricut that can cut SVGs. So the Maker, the Explore, Explore 1, Explore Air, or the Joy. The reason I do it on the Joy is to show you that, yeah, you can do them little. So this one right here, those are the 3 flowers, and it's going to cut. First it's going to draw and then cut. Okay? All right, so that's all the work stuff I wanted to show you. Wait, let me go back. When you're done, let me get out of here. you're going to save it as, and give it a name so that you'll remember. Yes, Shannon, I saw you. You're going to give it a name, and then you don't ever have to do this again. Next time you just open the project and these little details that you've done to save it are already there. Okay? All right. So, we're actually going to make this tonight. We're starting from scratch. So, first things first, you're going to start with your card base. It's an 8.5 by 11. You're going to cut it in half. And I tend to put this on thick whisper white as the card base, just because it's a pretty hefty card, and if you put it on a thinner cardstock, this part can get kind of wobbly. Thick whisper white, and then you're going to take your trimmer and you're going to score at 4 1/4. All right, card base is complete, ready to go. So I can put that up here and let it sit there for a minute. Then I'm going to need the rest of my pieces. So we talked about this the other day. One of the things you might want to do when you first get an Embelly is take it apart and look at all the pieces to help you choose your paper until you know exactly what you're cutting. Because once it goes to the Make It screen, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what is going where. See it? It's kind of tricky. So the next layer, this is the card. Then what you're actually going to cut is this green layer. That's the gray layer right here. That's this layer. Okay? So I'm going to do that. Oh, and I'm using the Best Dressed pack of paper. This is another one that I'm loving. Oh my goodness. The new catalogs from Stampin' Up! Are on their way to all of you. I'm hoping they get to you faster than they got to me. But nothing is fast anymore. Amazon 2-day Prime is no longer 2 days. It's more like 2 weeks. So we really just got spoiled. So anyway, when I place my order, now I'm a demonstrator, so I get to order a month before you do from the pre-order, which is a really cool perk. But this time, because of my Embelly obsession, it's a new word, I was definitely looking for what are the new designer series papers, and oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. So many great choices. Now, lots of us don't have them. Right, if you ordered a pack, they're coming faster. Yeah, none of us have got, well, some people have, but nobody in the Northeast seems to have gotten their catalog yet. Yeah, see, Denise, no catalog. Good thing we had a PDF, and good thing I just ordered anyway. Yeah, things are just really different than they were a few months ago. It is taking a while. But hey, that's why we have Embellys. They're an instant download. They do give us the same instant gratification that we're used to. So use what you have, and you can stock up on new Embellys, and that'll give you something new to work with. So anyway, I'm using the Best Dressed. So I'm going to go with this green. So this is going to be my base layer. And then I have some gorgeous grape, and that's going to go there. And then I used, which one did I pick? I think I'm going to use a different one this time though. I'm going to go with these this time. And then I need some white. So that's that. Remember, another part about these that I absolutely adore is that you can pre-cut a bunch of stuff and just have it good to go. And I have always have these. So you're going to cut your 8.5 by 11. You're going to cut it in half. So you have 8.5 by 5. No, yes, 8.5 by 5.5. Sorry, numbers. And then you're going to cut it in half again. So you're going to have 4 sheets of 4 1/4 by 5.5. And then when you cut these I did the same with my grape. I do these as a 4 1/4, but if I'm doing a 12 by 12, I just cut 4-inch strips. In fact, I can do these at 4 inch so you can see that it fits too. So you just cut these in 4-inch strips. That leaves you a good 2-inch strip left over. This is great for your envelope, or if you wanted to add any other little doodads, these are great pieces to hold on to. And then I have these ready to go. All right, I think I'm good. I did get my new mat in the mail today, and I was so excited to cut with it, and the first thing I did, I wrote on it. So let me show you how to avoid that. When you go into the Joy, you'll notice that the way they set these flowers up, now remember, these flowers are going to draw, then cut. The flower after blooming, I mean, I guess that does if you went with a 6-inch piece, but we don't usually. So I'm just going to take this guy and I'm going to move him up here, okay? And now it's not going to write on your mat like it did on this one. I feel like I need to unplug you and plug you back in because I'm using a different iPad right now. So let's make everybody be happy. All right, so we are ready to do this one. Okay, we're going to continue. It's going to choose our Joy. I know the design space is small, but you can kind of know what we're doing. Yes, they do have a blue mat, but it's the 12-inch one. I do have one of those coming too, but you can use this one. You just have to choose that when you go in. I find that it gets beat up quicker because it really isn't made to cut a lot on, but you can do it, and it's more expensive. So I'm sticking with the green one, and I'll let you know how the 12-inch one, whether it's annoying or it's okay. Right now, I'm good, especially if you're only doing Embellys. So I'm going to choose a medium cardstock. That's what I always cut. All Stampin' Up! Papers except for the Thick Whisper White, and that needs a little something extra. We'll talk about that another time. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do a short little video that shows you how to get to that. Okay, so I'm going to load you in, and it's going to tell me that you want to use your pen. I'm using my black Joy pen. Remember, the pens and the blades for the Joy are different. They are not the same as they are for the regular. I also just got my blade for the Joy. They're different. They're shorter. We did this last time, but just remember that. Put your pen in, shut her down. Take your blade, sticks right there. I love the small ones too. And we're ready to go. All right, so this is going to draw my flowers, and it's going to then go back and cut them out. So it takes it a minute. Not as long as the other file, the vertical card file. Let me show you which one I'm talking about. I think it's right here. This one. This is a new Embelly, and I love how it came out. I really do like it a lot. This takes it forever. It's a lot of drawing. So go get a cup of coffee or tea. Come back, it'll still be writing. But it looks so cool. At least I think it does. Lana, yeah, I've heard from other people it doesn't stay there. I don't know why. This is another new one while it's doing its thing. This one is Eucalyptus Leaves. And I did let me just have one thing in my hand to show you. I've got this, I cut this layer out twice. This layer I cut twice. The file doesn't tell you to do that, but I did. And then added it. When I took my blends and I added the stem down through here, just to give it a little something extra. So now it's done with that. It wants me to swap out and put this one in. Put my blade in. Make sure you put your cap back on your pen and tell her to go. Sure, the Joy can write on any color. Yep. So you could do that, Debbie. You could do that this flower on a colored paper, and then you wouldn't have to color it in. I did it on white because I wanted this to be white to stamp on, which I haven't stamped on yet anyway. It's there to stamp. But you could definitely do it in any color. Yep. This is a different look. Kind of a modern-y flower look. And then these two are the cat's meows. We have two cats. I don't own a cat, but but I like cats a lot. So the dogs are coming. So those are new ones that went up this week, I think. Some of the other new ones I've already mailed out. I don't keep them all the time. Okay, we are good. Oh no, one more flower, sorry. Okay, unload. And remember, when you're taking these off, you want to pull the mat away from the paper, not pull the paper away. All right? This way, you don't end up ripping anything. Now, my B and my L. This is because I didn't put the new blade in yet. All these embellies have been tested multiple times, so they've been cutting a lot. This little machine's been whirling away. So this, you do have to put each of the letters on, but it's super easy to know where to place them. And then your flowers. Now these are, it's Cricut pen that we're writing with, so it's not ideal. It's not the ideal ink for the blends, but I have to tell you, if you let it sit for a minute, so what I do is let this sit while I make the rest of the card, okay? And then I came back and I colored it, and I didn't have any smearing or trouble with it. Again, now if you didn't want to do the coloring, you could just have done this on a darker piece of paper and been done with it. I could have done it on, oh, maybe a Highland Heather would look good, or a purple posy would have been pretty. Could have done that. Okay, this is this layer. Let's see if I can move this forward just a little. Okay, so this layer. Alrighty. Oops, I think we'll be okay. The reason some of this stuff is happening, and I should probably change it right now, is the blade. So if your blade is not super sharp, let's do it while we're here so you know how. You will have things like that happen. It will catch, it will tear, and it won't cut straight through. So that's one of the first things. If you know, and you'll notice in some of the embellies, I give you some of these tips in the description. This is how it comes, right? If you're struggling, I try to make sure that these aren't things that are going to give you a hard time, like that I've tested it. If it's one where the text is really small, I'll tell you to change it like this. Take that out, don't cut yourself. Even though it's not, it's kind of dull on the paper, it's still sharp. Then take off this little cap, it's itty bitty. And then just drop this right down in. There you go. Blade changed. Let's see how this does now. Alright, same thing. I'm going to peel this off. Now that one it caught. Let's see what happened. All right, so see what happened? It didn't cut right there, and that truly was my blade issue. So what I'm going to do, because honestly it's so tiny and it's going to be perfectly fine, it left a mark, I'm just going to snip that and we are good to go. So there's that, and here's this one, and then we're on to the next, and the next one is, color are you? Oh, this is the full background. So this is the green. Let's see how it cuts now. So this was 4 by 6. And this is usually a shadow layer, but it's also helpful because it tells you, it's almost like a positioning guide. It tells you where everything goes. So, all right, and then the last layer is our purple layer, which is our immediate shadow layer. Now, if I were going to do a bunch of these, first of all, there are certain ones I would pick to do a bunch of. Some I would not. For example, that flower one that I told you takes a while, Go Have Coffee. I wouldn't do a bunch of those unless I had like an afternoon where I could just let my Cricut draw for a while. So while it's doing this, I'm going to just show you quick one flower. So you start with the light one. This is Highland Heather. And whoops, I'm just going to go light over the whole thing. I'm going to leave kind of the spaces between the flower petals, but if I happen to hit one, the world does not come to an end. Just kind of go over that. You can see I went on that separation that I said I was going to try and leave, but now notice it's smearing a little bit on these pieces, but those are going to get highlighted with the darker one, so it's really okay. If you're worried about it or you're having trouble with it, you can use your heat tool, and that will help. Now I'm taking the darker one, and I'm going to put the darker color in here. And then I just grabbed some Mango Medley, the darker one, and added that to the center of my flower. And I'm done, right? Super easy. Okay, we are all cut now. There's that one, and then this one is going to go right here, right? Okay, so we're going to stick this down. Susan, you have 7 what? Oh, cats. I know. I didn't know you had 7. I know you have a lot. Okay, there's that. And now this. And seriously, this goes so quick. You feel like, oh, wow, this is a really detailed card. Nope. Nope. Not bad at all. This one. The hardest part of this one is probably the letters take the longest. There's that. And then we have to glue our letters down. I'm just going to do a light coat of these, just if I were going to send it. Another trick that you can do, we've talked about this glue, the fine point, which works really, really well, but you kind of have to be take your time with it, and I can't do it with you guys live. I make a mess. But it does work well. The other one is the green liquid glue. The, which one is it? Where is mine? Oh, it's right here. This stuff looks really disgusting because I let the kids use it with me. But you put a little dab on a scrap paper and then use a toothpick when you're doing these kinds. Or I honestly use the snail and just put a little dabble-do-ya on each end. Like that. Another tool that I really like, shh, don't tell Stampin' Up. I really like the little Xyron X. It's great for letters, but honestly, it's kind of messy because you have all that leftover goo around it. So I really like this. I think it works fine. Here's my N. Now I need my dot. And then I struggle every time making sure they don't put my quotation mark or my little whoozy the wrong way. I usually put the glue on the wrong side. Alright, so there's bloomin', right? And then we have our flowers. And they line up right there. There's one. I'll color you later. Here's two. And then here's three. Right, like so. And then, and pop this on the front of your card. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could put a designer series paper behind it if you felt like you needed a little something back there. There's some really great options. Most of these I think are a little too much, but you can try it. Yeah, no, too much. I could use more green if I wanted. That might be okay, but I don't know why the shoes would be behind the flowers. Maybe a little much. I happen to like the white, just the white background. So that's why I stuck with that. I mean, the colors all go together and that's good. Maybe you can get away with the purple. The purple might be okay. But I'm just going to go with the white. Now the other piece that you want to remember when you're doing these is if you don't have the designer series paper that you want, you're sick of using the same ones. These look really cool if you take this and just run it through, just cardstock, but run it through an embossing folder. We did that on one the other night and it really just adds so much. This card's not finished because I took part of it, but that's the embossing folder used on it. Right? So it doesn't have to be designer series paper. I tend to use that, but it doesn't have to be. Alrighty. Well, happy embellying, everyone, and I hope that you are as obsessed as I am. I am so enjoying them. They're probably not, each one is not one you're going to fall in love with, so just don't do that one. If you've never done one before, pick one of the ones, that I have a coupon code for. Remember, these codes are not good forever. So you want to grab this. I think Saturday is when the code ends. It's half off. To be perfectly honest, I'm keeping them as least expensive as I can because I feel like we need them. We need something we can afford and not feel like we're dipping into other things. So, Embelly away, everyone, and I can't wait to see what you create. We'll have to start our own little group of sharing of our finished cards because I'd love to see them. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.